Hi, welcome. It is Thursday night on March 23rd, and today is class number 2 for our birthday card series. So hopefully you caught class number 1 and you loved every one of those projects. This is class number 2, as I just said, and I'm going to open with a couple of pieces of business. So you are free to watch my class, case my class. You are free to order and get free project materials. You are free to be a team member and order project materials from me directly. And I cannot wait to share these with you because I went from super simple to a little masculine, and I even did a gift card holder this time. So I hope you really enjoy it. And I'm looking forward to sharing all of these with you. So again, on the businessy side of it, here is this month's host code. If you use this host code between today and the end of the 26th, which is Sunday night, and you spend $35 or more, I will send you all of the materials to make tonight's cards. If you spend $50 or more, you'll also get a free gift from me. And then this is how you do that. So sneak peek of what we're going to make tonight. Here is that QR code, and I will post a link after this live to the spreadsheet. And you're just going to, or the Google form, you're just going to mark if you shopped with me and used my host code, or if you're a team member and you would like to order the packet to go. And that is all the business. In the event that you case my class and you create one of these cards in your own style, please, please, please post it for me so I can see. I love to see when other people case cards because we are all different creative wise. And I know when I case a card, which means copy and share everything, I do things a little different than the original person's idea. I might like some colors that somebody uses, or I might like the layout or the style. So feel free to copy and share everything that you see on my channels. And if you like what you see and you're on YouTube, go ahead and hit subscribe, and I will keep sharing content. All right, let's see. I'm going to do one last thing. If you are going to shop, it's NicoleMorgan.stampinup.net. And now I can go into sharing tonight's cards. All right, so the first one, as I said, is going to be super simple stamping. So we are using literally paper, ink, and stamps. And let's go ahead and I'm going to give you a sneak peek of what this looks like. And this is using our art gallery stamp set with 3 raised panels. And we're going to use first and second generation stamping to get these beautiful color variations here. So I've got, I hope, all of my materials ready to go. And I will, like I said, super simple stamping. So 3 little panels, a card base. I'm going to grab some ink and some dimensionals and my stamps, and then we will be ready to go. I am using tonight our colors that are going to be retiring at the end of April. So this is 3 of our 5 in colors that are retiring. I'm using Fresh Freesia, Polished Pink, and Pale Papaya, just in case you did want to replicate these colors. And again, we are using our art gallery, and I simply used this stamp right here, and I just used it a couple times on each panel. So we are going to make a little bit of a mess, so I'm going to do one panel at a time. grab my acrylic block. This is a photopolymer stamp set. Nice and flexible. There we go. So you can see what that looks like. All right, so let's start with our pale papaya. I'm going to do our left hand one. So basically, I'm going to use the left hand side of our stamp, and the rest of it's going to hang off of the edge. That's why I have this paper backdrop here, so I can make a mess and it's not going to destroy my table. So the first thing I have to do is ink up this stamp. And because I'm using first and second generation stamping, I'm going to go ahead and stamp this off one time onto my piece of paper. And now I can place this on here, right where I want it, and push it down. Give me 1 second to close the door. Kaylee, I'm live. There are Greek burgers in the fridge and potatoes. No? All right. Sorry. This is what happens when you have kids in sports. Hi, Melissa. All right. So they come home. I got her a ride home because I wasn't sure I'd make it back in time. So let's see. So now I have full strength ink on here, and I am just going to offset that. So I have both layers on here. Okay, so that is one. Ready to go. You'll tell me all about it later. All right. All right, so now, second color, we're going to use the centermost part of our stamp. I am using that polished pink, nice bold pink color. So the first one I'm going to stamp will be a stamping off. So I've got to get that dark, dark pink off of there for the first one and use my second generation stamping for this, and I'm putting this one down just a little bit so I can put the darker one a little higher when I offset it. So there's first step stamping there, first generation, and now I'm just going to line this up and stagger it just a tiny bit off, just like that. All right, that's number 2. And our last color is going to be Fresh Freesia. And it is the same process, except I'm going to use the rightermost part of our stamp. So stamp off and then put my right hand side over here. Ugh. Really wanted this one to show up a little bit more, and I did not do that the right way. So let's see if I like it. It looks good. All right, look at that, foolproof. So even if you don't do what you like the first time, you can make it happen. I'm going to go ahead and put this over here, and we will get that assembled. All right. Oh, no, we're going to stamp the happy birthday really quickly because we don't want to do that after the fact. So I did do that in that polished pink, that nice bold color. So let me grab that happy birthday. Put that back on the block. Okay, so I have happy birthday. Now I do need to kind of fold this so I can see where my line is, which still can't really see too well. Let's see. Oh, I love the in colors too, Melissa. Do you have any guesses for our new in colors that are coming out in May? Ooh, do we get a sneak peek on the 29th? I don't know. I think we just learned what's leaving us. Let's see. Okay, so for my happy birthday, ooh, I don't want all of that, so let me grab a tissue. So this is what happens when you use a block that's a bit larger than your stamp. Sometimes you just ink up your block. So I'm just wiping some of that off so I don't get it on the card itself. And I know I want it on the right-hand side here, and I'm putting it about 1 to 1.5 inches down and about 1/2 inch in from the right. No, this is not a science. However, it works. Oh, I'm so excited. Well, Melissa, can you set your alarm to say, remind Nicole to look at this? Because, you know, I get so involved in my day job. All right, let's put this sweet and simple card together the rest of the way. So now we're just going to layer these panels on some dimensionals. And then we will start with the left and the right, and then we will put the center one on. And I think I'm going to do 4 of these on each panel. If you had minis, this would be a great time to use some minis and use 5 little minis. That way the centers stay nice and raised as well. All right. If you are catching me on replay, don't forget to let me know that you have watched the replay, because that is always helpful to know when people catch us on replay. So when I do a panel of 3, I usually start with my outside edges and kind of give the border that I am looking for. And then I will simply center that middle one after I have these outside pieces ready to go. So, and sometimes I'll take a little ruler and just line this up so that it's kind of squared. So I know pretty much where I'm placing this other piece here so that it lines up vertically. All right, so now I just have to center this middle piece. And this is not a science. We're not quilting here. I'm not measuring perfect distances or anything. Just wanted to get a good idea so I didn't have staggered panels. Ooh, Melissa, you are a great stamping buddy to have. Okay. And this is simply our card. We could definitely add some things to zhuzh this up a little bit. We could put some greenery behind our panels. We could add a ribbon across here. We could sprinkle some embellishments on here that are sparkly, because I mean sparkles. So this is definitely the easiest card to make with just simple stamping. So take this and run with it and show me what you make. All right, let's move on to card number 2. So let me put this aside here. So card number 2 is going to use our Best Day stamp set that is also retiring at the end of next month. So if you didn't notice, there's a little bit of a theme going on with a little bit of this here. So here is the card that we did. This is a step up from simple stamping, but again, it doesn't use a lot of items, and it's not complicated to make this fun fold. So we are using the last 2 retiring in colors. which are Soft Succulent and Evening Evergreen. And those are the two colors in here. So I'm going to prop this up so I have it to look at. Let me get our stuff out here. So I have our Evening Evergreen card base, which is a standard 5.5 inch by 8.5 inch, and it is scored at 4 1/4. And then we've got some layers. So let's take a look at the different pieces and parts. So I'm going to work from the inside out because that is the absolute easiest way to look at this. So on the inside, I have Wishing You All the Wishes. Okay. So that's what will go in here, but I'm not going to put that down yet because before we can actually adhere that, we're going to have to create our folding flap here. So I have some paper that is scored. I did not write the measurements. I apologize. They are written, just not in front of me. So this is going to be the layer that gets placed in between this bottom and the flap. So that is what I will do as soon as I get done stamping, but I'll show you all the pieces. I did use Lovely and Linen DSP. So that is 4 by 5 1/4. This is 3/4 by 4. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this. Doing a little thing, little haphazard here, sorry. But I wanted to be able to build this from the inside out so you could see how easy it is to give yourself some extra special love to the people that you are wishing happy birthday to. So I like to leave just a teeny tiny little peek of my white under here. I'm going to go ahead and stamp Wishing You All the Wishes because I'm going to go ahead and build from the inside out. These are our rubber stamps. So these are a little bit different. You do have to assemble them if you've never done that before. There are videos on my channel to do that. I am going to use my darkest color because I really love bold sentiments. Again, if you are casing this and you choose to use something different, that is okay. I'm just going to put this in the center. Right like that. And now I am going to put my adhesive on the back of this right here, and then I will add this layer and add a little bit of adhesive on that. I'm sure there are a million other ways to do it, but this is how I feel comfortable doing it. So let's see. I want to make sure that my fold doesn't interfere with this flap closing. So I make sure that my line right here is off the edge, but just barely. Okay, so you could even fold it in like this, but I'm just going to line it up. I'm trying to center it as much as possible here. All right, so this is on, and now I'm going to add this inside layer. And I am just centering this in here. Before I do that, let's make sure he closes. Okay. Just in case, you could take that piece off, adjust it if you needed to, and then you'd be able to fold it back. So it works just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and add this layer because nothing is on this layer right here. So let's put that on there. If you've ever done Creative Memories, you might recognize the mat that I am working on. It's from eons ago. Back when we had different shapes that we would use little, I don't even know what they were called. Basically, it's like an X-Acto knife, but it was on this shape that rode like a channel around your shape. Oh, I'm so glad die cuts are a thing. All right, so now I'm going to add our layers here, and I'll save my birthday cake for the end. So I need some twine to wrap around this right here. And what I like to do here is I'm going to put a teeny tiny bit of our Stampin' Seal just so this has somewhere to hold on to. And then I liked having a few inches of this in different directions so that it was almost like an additional layer under that cake. So here we go. And then I'll put it right there. And snip that off. I will put those embellishments after. So I'm going to go ahead and do this layer here. This is going to be stuck straight down because my cake is going to be up on dimensionals. And I am simply putting this right in the middle. All right. So now I can take this birthday cake and we can stamp it and cut it out. Now I have seen all kinds of cool coloring with these. I did color with it when it first came out. I have tended to gravitate towards leaving this on a rectangle background, but it looked pretty decent fussy cut on top of the card. So I'm just gonna stamp that. It's not straight, which doesn't matter because we are getting ready to cut it out. So I did just use the Evening Evergreen on there. Just wanted to close that, get it out of the way. And I am leaving a little bit of a border around this, but also a little bit of interest with the shape of the stamp itself. Not a lot of fussy cutting tonight. All right, so this is really pretty simple to cut out. As you can tell, that took, what, less than a minute? So now we'll put some dimensionals on the back of this. And again, simple stamping. We just added a little bit more to it. Oh, thank you, Donna. This is one of our colors that's going out of, I would say out of production, but it's retiring. So at the end of next month, these colors will not necessarily be available. However, some of us are secretly hoping that these colors come back as an annual everyday color for us. So praying. All right, let me grab my fun motorcycle pieces here. Let's see if I can find them. I did not pull that out ahead of time. So let's see. Oh, there they are. So these are fun and they're actually metal. So I was surprised when I felt them. So there are a couple of different options for your embellishments here. I'm going to use these circles this time. And I really loved the bold in the black there, so that works. But you could absolutely use that metallic color too. So sometimes it gets to be a really big mess over here while we do lives. All right, so last thing I have to do is add some adhesive and put this card together the rest of the way, and it's done. I told you, super simple tonight. I'm just kidding. Not all of it's super simple, but it's pretty simple. And I am just lining this directly in the center, and I'll push that down. And here you have card number 2. So even if you're new, these are going to be easy enough for you to replicate, I promise. Feel free to share this video so it's on your page so you can find it again. Okay, so we're going to use this again. So let me clean this off so it's ready for our 3rd card. Hi, Maggie, I miss you. I need like a whole week or 2 off so I can come visit you. All right, so here is our card that is also a gift card holder. So gift card will fit right here. So let's go ahead and get started on this one. It's a lot of fun, isn't it? These colors are fabulous. And I have to say that I love this design so much that I actually decided to make a handful more, because who doesn't love little gift card holders? All right, these are not finished, obviously. But this one is ready to go. So we have a fabulous base here. This is, oh goodness, I'm going to forget the name of it, but okay, Blackberry Bliss. We're going to use that in a second on the inside. So this is 4 1/4 by 11. It is scored at 5.5 and at 2, I do believe. Again, you don't have to worry about these. I will send all of these pieces and parts to you already cut, and I did have them written down, so it won't take me long to make that happen for you. So I've got some background pieces. I've already got some pieces cut. And because I'm going to color, I went ahead and stamped him so he'd be nice and dry. All right, so let's go ahead and start folding. So I'm going to fold this and burnish this down. Okay. And then we are going to fold this layer to the inside. Okay. Now you can use a bead of glue, or you can use tape runner. I actually have lots and lots of tape. It's tear and tape. So we'll use that in just a moment. I'm going to find the piece that goes here because we want to cut out this little notch before we put this totally together. So let me go ahead and do that. This step being first was the easiest to keep everything kind of in order. Just started with one side and worked your way out. So now you can use any circle punch you have. I just happen to have this cutesy one from back in the day. So I pulled it out and it makes a nice little thumb hole. So I'm just lining that up about halfway through that circle. And punch. And there you go. Any circle punch will work. It doesn't have to be that tiny. It's all good. All right, so now I'm going to use my tear and tape, and this is just what it sounds like. So I'm going to pull this off here, and I'm going to place it on. And I like to just use my nail and tear against my nail, but you could physically tear it and then tape it down. And I'm going to start towards the top. And you want it as far out to the edges as possible so that your gift card has a spot to fit in there. And then you just peel the backing and fold this to the inside. Okay. All right, so now we'll take our inside layer and we're going to stamp that same wishing you all the wishes. We're going to do it in our landscape direction. And simply moving it a tiny bit to the left because I'm going to add that piece of designer series paper right here. So let's go ahead and get that on there, and then we'll put that whole thing. That looks really dark in this light. Let's see. Okay. So we're going to add this right here on this right side edge. This is what pokes out when the card is closed. I'm going to go ahead and add this. Right here. So that's the inside, and now we just have to finish the outside. So I'm going to put this right here. And we'll put this layer here. Again, I like to do things easy where everything is kind of centered. All right, so we're going to color this, and then we are going to cut it with our stitched shapes. So let me grab a couple of colors. This Cajun crayon. All right, actually, I'm going to use pumpkin pie for him. So I'm going to go ahead and color him orange. This is our Memento ink, and it is back in stock. And then this is a blending marker. When you order blending markers, they come in pairs. You get a light and a dark, and sometimes I use them that way, but tonight I'm just coloring the kitty orange without any real differentiation in color here. Melissa, I'm coloring. It takes a little while, huh? We talk all the time about how when we do our lives, sometimes they're longer than we anticipate. I'm usually so fast that I've probably given you creative mental whiplash and you can't keep up with me, or I've gone off script and went a little scatterbrained. So, you know, we all have our fun ways of creating live on camera. All right, let's give him a pink nose. And I did a blue bow tie. I love the bow tie. So these blenders do have a thicker side and a fine point. And let's see, I'm going to use some purple, and I'm going to do some purple polka dots on this cupcake liner. I mean, if you have a cat that fits in a cupcake liner, I want to see that, because my cats are not going to fit unless it's a human-sized cupcake liner, just for the record. All right, and we're going to have a green balloon this time. Okay, so my kitty is colored. So now I need to cut. And I just put a few things away, so that, of course, will be the death of me. I thought I had it out here. Let me see. Nope, I just have my Brewed for You out here. So give me 1 second, because obviously I am either overlooking it or I've misplaced it. So let me take 2 seconds here and take a look. And that's what I did. I like to clean up and put away the things that I need. All right, so stylish shapes. We're going to use our square. And the cool thing is I can use my mini and it'll be all right. So I do need to use this to figure out which size square fits in here. And did I do that one or that one? I think I did this bigger one. Yeah. All right. So let's grab this fun color. This is definitely going to be one of our new colors, boho blue. So boho blue, beautiful. And I need to make a sandwich with these materials. And I'm actually going to trim this on the edges because I was supposed to have it small enough to run through here. There we go. And I do use a little piece of washi tape to kind of hold this sucker in place all the way. And we'll do this. And we'll send it through. It's easier if you put it directly on your table surface, so then you don't wiggle. What's the difference between the light and dark? Let me grab a second one out for you. So here is a light and dark, and essentially you can create, let's make a petal, a flower petal. And I use the dark for the outline, and then I can come and blend this in. And it just kind of gives this fun blending color. And we can look at it again in a second because it kind of does a little bit of, that just looks wrong. Sorry, guys. So so that is the light green. Here's the dark green. So if you were doing leaves and you wanted to do some stems through the middle. So it just helps to blend and give some dimension to your colors instead of just having a plain color. So here is our top layer. And then once you've used your washi tape about 5 times, it is no longer good. So got to throw it away. All right, so we're going to adhere our cat to that Blackberry Bliss layer behind it. And I did raise this up on dimensionals, and I put it in the left-hand side here so that it just adheres in the right place and doesn't like stick together. And because it's a moving part, I added an additional center one. Get this out of the way here. And before I push down super, super hard, I just kind of make sure that I do not have any sticking out. And there is our gift card holder. card number 3, gift card holder. This is one of my favorite ones. You can see it's just subtle differences in the colors. I didn't color in the cupcake liner on these. I just colored the little polka dots. I did give them both blue bow ties. Apparently, I really like this blue color. All right. Card number 3 out of the way. Are you ready for card number 4? Card number 4 is like, you know, your buddy card. A card for the buddies in your life who like to go out and grab a nice craft beer, have a drink. Your girlfriends like to go and have a nice beer. I used to like to go and have a nice beer occasionally, but I found that this card set, or this stamp set, is fabulous. I'm really loving it, enjoying making all the things. So let's see. I'm going to show you the card. And I do have to pull out the big embossing machine because I don't think I embossed yet. Because I wanted to show you all the little pieces and parts. So this was a lot of fun to create. So let's take a look. We used those same metal embellishments. And then I have these cut out, and I cut out some squares. This is embossed back here. So this is definitely a stepped up card. And again, I liked to put a little bit of twine back there from our multiple color pack of twine. We have black. I love it, love it, love it. So let's go ahead. I'm going to just push some stuff to the side, and we will get our last card underway. So again, I said I did not emboss yet. So here is my layer. I'm using the metal plate embossing folder, and I do have to break out the big guy because of the size of this embossing folder. It needs the full size here, and I do have like a zoomed in camera, so you can't quite see it all in the camera, but I have my sandwich being made right here, my paper sandwich with my embossing folder. So a tip is to put your embossing folders, the folded side in first. It helps when you squish that paper. It squishes it out to the open end, and you shouldn't get any wrinkles at that point, which I don't have happen too often, but I don't know that I've sent them through backwards. So here is our embossed layer, and I'm going to move this out of the way. And bring this back in. Okay. Let's see. I used soft suede for this one, and I also used Mango Melody for the yellow beer, and I think that is it. So just those 2 inks for this card. So let's go ahead. There's nothing special about this card base. It's not a fun fold. So you're just going to fold that in half. It is 4 1/4 by 11. And we're going to do it in portrait style. So before I do anything, I need to add my black thread here. So same method. I'm going to add a little strip of adhesive. Put this on, and then I'm just going to kind of wrap it around however I think it looks cool. So I did a few wraps. It's going to look different when that when those 2 layers are on there. Let's see. Pull that off. There we go. So now I am going to add dimensionals because I did raise this whole layer. on dimensionals. And because I did that, it does use a little bit of dimensionals. This is definitely optional. When you do yours, you do not have to be as extra. And if you notice, I am going to use some of the edges. So put another little bit right there. Let's see. If my wife were on, she would probably have something to say about the colors that I chose for these beers, because she is the beer connoisseur in this family, although neither one of us really drink these days. But we love visiting breweries when we go places, so it's a lot of fun. All right, let's see how much I prepped for myself when I was awake one day. So let's see. Oh, on the inside, we're going to stamp our beer mug for an inside layer. And then we're going to stamp the other pieces and cut them out as well. Okay. So this is what I prepped. That's not bad. Sometimes I prep a little more than others. So, all right. So we're going to stamp our mug of beer first on the inside. So again, I am using the same color ink as the cardstock layer, which is our soft suede. So let's put that here. Oh, you can't even see. There we go. Get that back in. All right. Stuck that down. While it's not a big deal, I want to make sure when I gift these that they are as good as they can be. So let's try that again when I'm not moving things. So I'm going to stamp that mug of beer right here. And there we go. Much better. I'm going to go ahead and stamp another one that we're going to cut out later from the front, but I stamped that one in a different color. So never mind. I think I like the lighter mud color. So I'm going to do that on the outside. All right. So this color for the inside, and then I did use this color for the beer. So let's go ahead and grab that layer. You can see we have the beverage part and the glass part. So we're going to add this right here. And because they're clear, I can see where it's going. Okay, so there's the beer. All right. And let me grab Sahara Sand, which is the actual color that I used for the glasses on the other one. I'm just going to slide this over here because that is also the color I used for the foam. So I'm using like all of my blocks and everything today. So let's see. So let's grab a small block here. And we'll do a little bit of foam here. So all right. And then That same color is going to be used over here for this glass. Let's see if this will work. And I'm going to kind of space these out so that I can then cut them in a moment. So that glass and this one. Okay, and again, I can use that inside. Go ahead and do this part right here. So this is where you're building all of your beer or drink, your beverages. And then we'll cut them out and add them to the front of the card. So this is my light beer. And let's clean this one off. Because then we're going to add this darker color again is going to be my chocolate stout, because that was my favorite, one of my favorite beers. So swap this for this. And it's really, really dark. This is my favorite way. And my ink is a little juicy, so oh yeah, that's really dark. I could have done a second generation for that and it would have been okay, but I mean, we could just call it a Guinness, right? All right, last part is going to be the jug. Put it on the right way. And I did do this in that same color and then cut them all out. Okay, so now we're gonna cut everything out. Oh, we gotta stamp one more thing. Another round for your birthday is the one I used. And make sure it's gonna fit where I want it to fit. So I am really gonna be careful because I have pre-cut this out. Now, if you're at home and you have this machine, you would stamp this first and then you would use your washi tape and take care of the cutting after the fact. So when you get this, it is going to come just cut out like this, and you'll have to be just as careful as I was. But you can see it works. All right, let's see. So we got that done, and I did not put anything else in here. So let's go ahead and cut those out, and then we'll be able to assemble everything. Get some things out of the way here. All right, so I can pull out the baby embosser again because all of these shapes are little. Put that aside. And I'm going to go ahead, since this is in my way, I'm going to go ahead and add it on the inside of the card, so I don't do anything to mess it up. All right, so now I can set that aside as well. So let's get that baby embosser back out. Again, that's our boho blue. And I'm simply going to trim this so I can run these through this machine nice and easily. All right, so you can see that you could put some soda. You could make a soda glass. It's got bubbles. I'm not using that layer today. I'm just using our outline layers. All right. And let's see if I can do 2 of these at once. I probably can. Oh, yes. Oh, look at this. Washi tape. Gone. I have to grab another one. But you know they're sold in multi-packs. I have plenty. All right, so there's one. Here's 2, and that handle gets cut out, so it comes out really cute. Now, what I would like to do is take this jug and fill it with some flowers from another set, but I haven't gotten there yet. So if you do it, let me know. Because I have lots and lots of jugs in my china cabinet. They're like old apothecary bottles and whatnot, and so I like to put single flowers in some of those, or a few flowers depending on the size of the mouth of the jar. All right, so we're going to send all 3 of these through in one pass. Even though it's a baby machine, it's going to do some big work today. All right. It does sound like it's breaking when you use it, especially when you have new plates, new cutting plates. So don't let that shock you. That's just the die cut making little cracks in the little indentations in these plates here. As you can see, this is what they start to look like after a while. All right, so let's take a look. We are almost finished. So get these pieces out here. I'd rather not lose those, so I'm going to set them aside. There we go. All right. So now we can put this back together. All right, so we're going to have our basic black square up on dimensionals. I'm going to go ahead and keep cutting away at the edges of this. If you hear that little squeak, that would be Ava, the newest dog. I think she's had her 1-year birthday and we didn't celebrate it. We missed it. I don't even know exactly when she was born. She was adopted, obviously. Let's see, I did have this a little towards the top of the card so we can put our sentiment at the bottom. And I'm going to scoot it down just a tiny bit so you can see that extra string layer. Okay. This layer is going to go directly on to that basic black layer. So just add some adhesive to the center. And this one is going to go in the opposite direction. So straight forward here. Go ahead and get our sentiment up on dimensionals as well. Go. There we go. Sometimes my fingers don't work as well as other times, so. But I want this to be mounted a little bit better than the last one that I had. That was a little wobbly on the end, so I am adding enough so that this whole thing is going to be nice and supported across the bottom. So let's put that here. Okay, and now we get to layer our jugs and our beer. So the jug and the handled beer are going to get placed directly on to this backdrop. And I angled this one just a little bit. It's not, not a big deal. And then I put this center one on dimensionals again to give some interest there. Okay, and now all we have to do is add those metallic embellishments. And I added quite a few on here, but I'm not going to need extra ones down here. So I'm just going to I'm using the rule of 3, and I'm going to put 3. Where I'm going to put them, I don't know. And I really am just liking these round ones today. So when I do 3, I like to do kind of sort of a triangle. So, all right. There you have it, card number 4. So let's take a look at all of them. Let's see. I'm not sure that they will all fit. So we have this one, this one, this one, and this one. So I hope you enjoyed the variety that we had here this evening. And I look forward to designing for one more birthday class. Might throw in some special things, kind of like our gift card holder here. Maybe some type of packaging would work. If you have some ideas, let me know. That is it for tonight. So let's go back and hey, you can see me again. All right, so let's go back and take a look at March host code, order $35 or more, and then fill out your Google form, and I will send you all of these materials to make these 4 cards. And if you're a team member, you can just fill that out and send the let me know that you're a team member, and I will send you a Venmo invoice. And again, if you're shopping with me, it's NicoleMorgan.stampinup.net. And that is it. So I look forward to seeing you again on April 27th for card class number 3. Again, this was card class number 2. Go find number 1 on my Facebook or YouTube and enjoy those as well. If you case my cards, send me some pictures. I'd love to post them, or you can post them in the comments and we'll get to see them. I'll see you all next time.